Once upon a time, there lived a very beautiful girl named Furu. Furu lived with her parents in a very small village. Her mother was once the most beautiful woman in the village, the delight of many, as all the eligible bachelors in the village wanted her to be their bride. Furu's father was considered the luckiest man in the village to have married Furu's mother, as not even the prince of the village was able to win her heart. Furu grew up to be even more beautiful than her mother, and was admired by all the maidens in the village. One day, Furu was returning home from the stream when she saw a giant snake staring directly at her. She was terrified, as she had never seen a snake that big in her life. The snake gently approached her, and Furu screamed at the top of her voice, shutting her eyes in fear. By the time she opened her eyes, the snake had disappeared, and Furu ran back home in fear. When she got home, Furu told her mother what had happened. Her mother comforted her, glad that nothing had happened to her daughter. As days turned into weeks, strange occurrences began to take place. Furu would often find herself in dangerous situations, only to be miraculously saved by the snake. Once, she was about to step on a venomous scorpion when the snake appeared out of nowhere, hissing loudly to alert her. Furu caught sight of the dangerous scorpion and saw the snake hissing in front of her. She was so frightened that she returned home immediately. The thought of the snake could not leave her mind, and Furu wondered what the snake wanted with her. That night, Furu went to bed and had a terrifying dream. In the dream, she saw herself as a snake, hissing and moving next to the same snake she had always seen in the bushes. She woke up terrified and ran to her mother's room to tell her about her horrifying dream. Her mother comforted her and assured her that it was only a dream. The next evening, Furu went to the forest to collect some firewood when the snake appeared in front of her. Filled with fear, she ran a short distance and noticed that the tree branch above where she had just been standing fell to the ground, missing her by mere inches. Furu turned to look at the snake and noticed that it slithered away quietly without harming her. In a state of confusion, Furu decided to follow the snake, realizing that it was there to protect her, not harm her. She followed the snake quietly as it guided her to its cave. However, Furu lacked the courage to approach the snake, so she ran back home in fear. Little did she know that someone had trailed her from behind. A maiden in the village named Fi had heard Furu's loud scream and rushed to check what it was. When she saw Furu and the huge snake staring at each other from a distance, curiosity filled her. Fi followed Furu and the snake, wondering what connection Furu had with it. She then decided to spread rumors in the village, claiming that Furu had dark powers that allowed her to control snakes. She told the villagers how a snake in the forest had saved Furu from a falling branch. Furu's gossip quickly spread through the village like wildfire. Whispers and hushed conversations erupted, with some villagers becoming suspicious of Furu. Some wondered if she was in alliance with dark forces, while others believed it was simply a desperate attempt by Fi to discredit Furu out of jealousy. However, this did not deter the young men in the village who wished to marry Furu. She was by far the most beautiful maiden in the village, and the men were blinded by her beauty. A young man named Tamuno came to ask for Furu's hand in marriage. Tamuno was a very handsome farmer with a great reputation in the village. He met Furu at the last village festival and since then they had been spending time getting to know each other. Furu had rejected all other marriage proposals from eligible bachelors in the village, as Tamuno had promised to marry her. He met with Furu's parents and declared his intention to marry her, and a date for the marriage introduction was set. Furu fantasized about her life with Tamuno, as he was everything she had ever dreamed of. The day of the marriage introduction arrived, and Furu looked absolutely beautiful. Everyone gathered to witness the marriage ceremony when suddenly the huge snake slithered into their midst, scaring everyone away including Tamuno, who never spoke to Furu again. This broke Furu's heart, as the whole village began to avoid her, believing she had a connection with dark forces. Unable to bear it any longer, Furu ran away from her village to live with her mother's best friend, Iben, who was also her godmother, in a neighboring village. This was a great escape for Furu, as she could no longer endure the happenings in her village. She spoke to her godmother about the giant snake and how it had ruined her life. Her godmother then came up with a plan to kill the snake before it could ruin Furu's life any further. They journeyed back to Furu's village, and she led her godmother to the cave where the snake lived. The snake was fast asleep, so Furu and her godmother quietly approached it. Furu then raised her knife and tried to plunge it into the snake's head when it suddenly woke up and bit Iben, scaring Furu, who mistakenly cut her own hand with the knife, spilling her blood all over the snake. To everyone's astonishment, the snake began to change. Its scales dissolved into human skin, and within seconds it transformed into a beautiful girl who looked exactly like Furu. Furu's heart raced as she stared at the girl in disbelief. She could not understand why the girl looked so much like her and ran home to tell her mother what had happened. Furu's mother then revealed a shocking truth. When she gave birth to Furu, the entire village celebrated. However, she suddenly felt another urge to push, and when she did, a snake came out, scaring everyone in the room. Furu's mother took the snake to the forest and abandoned it there, as she did not want anyone in the village to know what had happened. Overwhelmed with emotions, Furu and her mother returned to the forest to find the girl. When they arrived, they saw the girl, frightened and confused, next to Iben, who was now acting strangely. She had gone mad. When she saw Furu and her mother, she began making shocking revelations. She admitted that many years ago, she had been in love with a man who fell deeply in love with Furu's mother. Out of jealousy, when she heard that Furu's mother was pregnant, she visited an evil juju to turn the unborn baby into a snake. However, she did not know that Furu's mother was pregnant with twins. Realizing what had happened, Furu embraced her twin sister, feeling deep sorrow for the loneliness she must have endured as a snake. Her twin sister then revealed the reason she had interfered with Furu's marriage. Tamuno had made a bet with his friends to marry Furu. Knowing that Furu would suffer a life of misery, her twin sister had intervened to save her. Hearing this, Furu apologized to her twin sister and hugged her tightly. The village was astonished by the turn of events, and Furu's twin was welcomed into the family with open arms. From then on, the sisters lived happily, their bond stronger than ever. The village marveled at the extraordinary tale of Furu and her long-lost twin the snake who turned into a girl. The lesson from this story is that the evil we do lives with us. We should not allow jealousy to lead us into ruining the lives of others. Do not plan evil, as you may live the rest of your life regretting your actions. I hope you enjoyed the story. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It helps us grow our channel. See you in the next story. Bye!